true. Let's start it up. New era.
Nuggets 2.0.
Nuggets
We're
2.0.
here.
Here we go. What's up, everybody, and welcome into the pregame show.
Let's go.
Presented as always by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Use promo code DNVR whenever you sign up. A very eventful day here.
What a day.
At DNVR HQ and around the NBA world. As the Denver Nuggets make a trade, they get rid of Bones Highland. They send him over to the Clippers. They bring in Thomas Bryant from the Lakers. A couple picks exchanged hands there. I think a net negative of 1 second-round pick overall and Davon Reed. We're going to break all of that down for you. We did do a full hour-plus long trade deadline special. So if you didn't hear that one, you'll have it in your podcast feed under the DNVR Nuggets podcast, or it'll be on YouTube if you want to go back and check that out. This will be more of a brief kind of dive, a brief overview of what we think of it, getting some more information, digesting, talking to some people. We're also going to preview the Magic Nuggets game because that's what we do. I got Vogt, and he's drinking Lebanese liquor.
Shout out Joseph Lubarov, something close like that.
Something.
He got us.
So I know it's a
Shout
name.
out.
I don't know if you say Eric
to
or Rock,
you.
how it's pronounced. It's Strawn though.
Is it?
Shout out D-Line, who
Also, shout out Dylan.
is in here.
Yeah. Over here, Harrison Wynn.
How bad did Vogt take the trade deadline to where he's drinking that?
Hey, man, I'm Joey. I told him earlier. I
I
was like, I
thought
need
you
a
were the
drink too.
optimistic one, Vogt.
I thought I wasn't on the show until 30 seconds ago.
You have to understand, for
all
Vogt,
true,
drinking is like he's feeling good. He's going to have a drink.
Vibes are fine. Yeah,
Vibes
yeah.
are perfect. And then over here with the beanie, it's Superstar Dev.
I'm here with the baseball boys. You guys did 2 shows one day? The two-a-days.
The
You guys
two-a-days.
are...
Yeah.
That's legit, man.
You've just been maxing and relaxing, I'm sure of it. Nuggets in Orlando to take on, there's actual Nuggets basketball. I hate theoretical basketball. I really do, man. This
Me
is
too.
why I get less into the trade, the draft. Like a lot of people, and it's fine if you like it. It's fine. I like those things, but I don't love them as much as actual basketball. I'm very excited to watch actual basketball.
One thing to remember about the Denver Nuggets season, it's actually whipped ass so
It's
far.
really good.
Yeah,
It's fun when they
really,
play.
really good.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so funny. Nuggets are in Orlando. A little 3-game road trip in the southeast of the country. They've got Orlando tonight, Charlotte coming up on Saturday, and then Miami. A little 3-game road trip in the same region. What do we got?
What do we have? We've got the Orlando Magic tonight. Quick injury update. Jamal Murray is out of this game. Right knee inflammation. Same injury he missed that last game with. Michael Malone said pregame that just the inflammation isn't where the team wants it to be right now. The hope is to get him back in a couple days in Charlotte, but they're not going to rush him back or put any pressure on him to come back.
Smart.
With just 3 games left until the All-Star break, you wonder if they just rest him. We'll see.
4 games.
4 games, including tonight, yes.
Three against Eastern Conference opponents, which, the record matters for Denver, but the games they're playing don't matter. The Dallas one does, though. I kind of want to see him back for the Dallas game.
Yeah. The Nuggets haven't had a lot of real games, I feel like.
Yeah.
Real games
That's
against
so true.
playoff teams where everybody's in the lineup.
They keep ducking.
That could be one of them.
Because
Yeah.
every time someone comes to Denver, they rest, and then Denver's had a couple
Yeah.
high profile where they've rest. So I'm with you, man. There haven't been a ton of them. Dev, one thing about this season that I love, no Murray. Obviously, he's better. They're better with him, but they have a really good second lineup. Like when Murray's out, they have a really good plan B.
Yeah, when Murray's in, of course, they have like an elite offensive player. They know who they are. They have an identity. When he's not there, they get back to free-flowing basketball because they're not having to feed elite guys. So I think that it's just it's fun for them in a different way. Not to say that it's not when Jamal's there, but I think it just gives them a new type of way to play, which a lot of guys enjoy.
Yeah. So I look forward to it tonight to see what they got.
Yeah, for sure. For the I think Zeke Naji is also out, I believe.
Yeah.
Shoulder injury. For the Magic, Gary Harris is out. Adductor. Familiar?
Oh, no. Really?
Yeah.
I'm
it's the
telling
adductor.
you, him, Will Barton, Wilson Chandler, all got adductor strains in Denver and never recovered.
Have we considered that Gary just knows what the magic words are?
What do you mean?
Just get some time off.
Oh, yeah, you think that he's like...
The adductor.
Oh, my adductor.
adductor.
Oh, man,
Yeah.
the adductor.
Just kidding, Gary. I'm sorry.
So he's out. Starting for the Nuggets in Jamal Murray's place is Bruce Brown.
Yeah.
No surprise there. But with Murray out, with Bones Highland gone, another game of Ish Smith in the rotation, most likely. So we'll see how that develops.
By the way, that lineup, I believe, with Denver, with him in place of Murray, I think it's actually the best. If you think of the 3 lineups they use the most, 1 Bruce Brown in for Porter, 1 Bruce Brown in for Murray, and then 1 just the regular starters. Bruce Brown in for Murray has statistically been the best one.
Yes.
I don't think that tells you much. It's small sample size, but still cool.
Yeah, but we'll see a lot of that lineup tonight, obviously, the starters.
Yep.
Here's what's going on with Orlando really quick. They're 23-33, 13th in the East. They're 5-5 in their last 10. They're coming off a loss to the Knicks. Today at the trade deadline, they dealt away Mo Bamba, their backup center,
Or
who's
like Les
currently
Bamba.
suspended, to the Lakers.
How strong is that?
All right, Eric's not here. Eric's not here. Someone has to.
My God, he's had half of this
By the way,
Lebanese shot.
It is that strong.
It's
Is
been a
there
long
really?
day. It's
More
been a
like
long
Les
day.
Bamba in Orlando.
Yeah.
He did get in a fight and they shipped him out, man.
Yeah, well, they shipped him out while he was suspended.
Tough scene.
He's heading to the Lakers. Pat Beverly is heading to the Magic, but he's not even going to get to Orlando. I think they're going to buy him out. And, yeah, that's what the Magic did at the deadline.
So strange. Mo Bamba at the
Do you think they
Lakers.
just traded him because he got suspended?
Maybe. You've got Shaquille O'Neal. You've got Dwight Howard. Now you've got Mo Bamba going from Orlando to L.A.
The pipeline.
The pipeline.
All the greats.
All the greats.
Also, the Nuggets trade today just became official when we went live. And they actually roped it into like a 4-team deal.
Who's the 4th team?
The Magic.
Where were they in this deal? I don't remember. They were part. Oh, you're saying they were part
Magic,
of that?
Lakers, Nuggets, Clippers. So the Nuggets
Oh.
2 trades are in the same deal.
And I was told that, by the way, that because the picks that went out the door were the same picks that came in from the Bones one. So, yeah, they are connected.
Thomas Bryant will wear number 13, the number he wore before he got to the Lakers, because 13's retired.
Mixer's right. No Bamba is better.
What did you say?
Less Bamba.
All right.
He's right. No
Yeah,
Bamba.
Fewer Bamba.
All right. What else?
That's all I got.
All right, let's talk about this trade deadline. Oh, actually, just tonight, real quick. Is any big notes, any big thoughts here for you, like keys to this game or things you're looking at?
I mean, you're very curious about what the bench look will be. I mean, not that it's going to be the bench look going forward, but I'm just
Right.
curious how it looks tonight.
With Ish back running
yeah,
it.
yeah. But I would just say for Denver in these situations, playing a team like Orlando, effort level and turnovers, man. Like, I think if they take care of the ball, they're just too much better than this team to lose.
The last Magic game was the takeover, and it was weird because the Nuggets had to come back in the 4th to win it. Jokic hit the game winner, but they were also up 15 at the half. Like, I don't know if this is a game you should expect. They have length. They play that zone. They have disrupted Denver a little bit, but I'm curious if Denver's just more prepared for it tonight.
Yeah, I think in that game also they just defended at a level that they have never defended at
So
before.
true. It was such a good game.
There's
plan.
no way they duplicate that type of game. Again, Denver was up 15 and then had to rally, but it was because the Magic played really well. They had a weird lineup with Bobo started in that game, and it just meant a lot to them. So I don't think they could match that same energy.
Yeah. All right, let's move on now to talk about this trade deadline here. So, yes, the Nuggets do trade Bones Highland. It felt all but inevitable. I know that there had been some posturing in recent days about, hey, Denver's not going to just trade him, for no reason. I think we can say with how it played out that the Nuggets were pretty dead set.
That's
on
what it
trading-
seems like.
Trading Bones Highland. If you break it down what it really was, Denver sent out Bones Highland, Davon Reed, and a 2nd-round pick for Thomas Bryant. That's the net. Like if we do, because it was 2 separate trades or whatever, but it really is the net was those 3 pieces. Davon Reed, they weren't using Davon Reed. Like he was not going to in any circumstances, in my opinion, be a player that plays. The 2nd-round pick, it sucks because it's draft capital. You give that up. To me, this is really a lot more closer to Bones for Thomas Bryant, and it's probably 1 year of Thomas Bryant.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Do you feel like that's unfair way of placing it? I mean, I don't want to act like a 2nd-round pick has no value, but I also don't want to act like it was, oh my God, Denver gave up. It was a 2nd-round pick. Yeah,
I mean, 2nd-round picks are like the word of the day, I feel like, across the NBA trade deadline. I think if you look at it like that, you feel better about it just because it's so clear that there was just no market for Bones Highland.
Yeah.
There really wasn't. I mean, it's not like the Nuggets didn't go with the best deal that was out there.
Right.
2 second-round picks for Bones Highland. That's the best they could find. That's way less trade value than we all thought he had, going back months ago. So if you look at it from that perspective, yeah, Denver got a guy in Thomas Bryant who's going to play for them, who's an upgrade at backup center, who addresses the biggest hole they've had on the roster all year. So you can feel a little bit better about it that way.
Deb, we haven't heard your thoughts. What do you make of this trade deadline for the Nuggets?
I think that getting rid of Bones is telling. When you look at what they gave him up for, I see everybody is emotional one way or the other. There's people that wanted him out. There's people that wanted him to stay, or they wanted more for him. And there doesn't seem to be like an actual middle ground. But if you just look at the trade for what it is, this is a team kind of just wanting him away from the team in every single way, if you think about it. They traded him in their conference. They did not have to give up much for him. And the fact that they did not have to give up much for him means that there were not a lot of suitors. Rather you think that they should have got more for it, I'm sure that they tried to get as much as they possibly could, and there was no market out there, so they had to do what was best for them. So, me personally, I loved Bones' tenure with the Nuggets, but also I understand why it had to end, and I feel like you lost. You just gave away what you wanted to.
One thing I think that the Nuggets were interested in moving on from Bones before the last 2 weeks. I think this is a thing that they explored in the offseason in the summer. It was like, hey, is this a thing? Like, let's see what can happen. Didn't like the return, go through the season, and obviously it went very poorly, and I think he became an even more depressed asset. Not just, by the way, because of the Twitter beef and the being benched and this or that. I think also just for the play.
He played poorly.
Yeah, just because, the how the season unfolded for him. So I think there's a little bit of a perception of there was a fight with the Nuggets in some capacity, and then it was we got to get rid of him, and this all spiraled in 1 week. I don't think that's the case. I think the Nuggets have been open to this possibility as they try to look for a more veteran team. That being said, 2 second-rounders?
It's not a good return, right?
Yeah.
It can be true that it's probably the best Denver had, and they felt like they needed to do this. So I don't even necessarily mean it as a criticism of the front office when I say it's not a good return.
Right.
I think it's just an unfortunate end to an asset. This is not an optimal outcome, and they were probably forced into a bad trade, more or less. I don't think the roster's worse today than it was yesterday.
Right.
But if you go through the length of Bones' contract in Denver and how we all felt about him as fans and media, there's no way this is the high point,
Right. Yeah, I think that's the key. This is the thing about young players. If you do feel like moving on, 9 times out of 10, I feel like you pull the trigger early, because the whole idea of we don't really know this or that, but let's give it a couple more months and see. It's it's either going to grow into something you don't like.
I mean, look at what happened under the previous regime. The
a lot of
Juan
that,
show and
yeah.
the Malik Beasley experience.
A lot of that, yeah.
That's exactly what you're talking about. Those guys' values were high, then the Nuggets held on to them and they just dropped.
Clearly, there wasn't a big market. I mean, if you here's the way you can game theory this out is to say nobody beat 2 seconds. You know what I mean? Denver wasn't going to say, no, we're not trading you. They would have taken anything, and nobody beat 2 second-round picks. And by the way, they're not even that good at second-round picks.
Well, and they needed those picks to get Thomas Bryant.
Right.
So if that was the deal they really wanted, there's that much more incentive, especially considering everything going on.
So that's an unfortunate situation. He's gone. Thomas Bryant, though, interesting. I've heard that Zeke might, he's out. I wouldn't be surprised if he's out for a week till after the All-Star break, maybe even a little bit there. So I think some of this is, if you don't have Zeke, you don't want to play DeAndre, and Jeff has been a little shaky. Maybe there's just you need a backup big to begin with. I think Thomas Bryant won't play tonight, obviously, but I think he's going to get an opportunity to play real minutes in the next, before the All-Star break, and then could be a major impact piece on that bench going forward.
Yeah, Denver needed a backup point guard that could play real minutes and give them
Backup
great
big.
minutes. Backup big. DeAndre Jordan is just a backup big. He's not going to be able to win a playoff series for you. You're not going to be able to play him with the consistency that I feel like Thomas Bryant can give you. And then with the Zeke news, I think it just comes at the right time. Thomas Bryant showed that he can be a starter in this league. He could give you those valuable, consistent minutes. And it's not like they're, asking him to be a real piece. They just want to buy time for when Jokic is not on the court. And also, I think that he's going to like being a focal point of an offense at some point. Being a guy that, is going to be able to get the rotations and, have the ball in his hands. So I think that this is a win-win situation for Thomas Bryant as well as Denver because they get their backup option. And also, he's going to be happy to be able to be featured.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, Thomas Bryant's had some of his best games of this season against the Nuggets,
I know.
too. He's had some huge nights against Denver. And I just think he fits a very defined role on the second unit. He's going to set pick and rolls. He's going to dive to the rim. He's going to dunk the ball a lot. That's where he gets most of his offense, off of dunks. Really athletic, kind of a high flyer. He has a pretty good three-point shot, too. So I think it's just a clear upgrade at backup center. He's a guy who could start for a bunch of different teams in the league. I think this is just going to be a 3-month run with Thomas Bryant. If he plays really well, sure, I bet Denver would look to keep him. If it doesn't work out, he won't be back next year. But you're just shoring up the front court. That's exactly what you're doing. I think this is obviously the best backup center they've had since Mason Plumlee.
Boogie Cousins?
I think Thomas Bryant might be better.
Wow. I don't think so. Boogie was volatile, and I get it, but I think he was really good, man. He had some dominant
He was
games.
really good. Just like Bones was really good for what last year's team needed.
Yeah. All right, let's talk now about, if you want extended thoughts, again, go back and check out the podcast. It's already in the podcast feeds. We talked for an hour plus, breaking every single angle of all of this down, as well as talking about the Phoenix Suns, their move to get Kevin Durant, the Lakers, all the different moves that have happened at the deadline. We broke them all down. Let's talk about buyout candidate, guys. The Nuggets have an open roster spot, which means they can add another player to the roster. There's going to be a lot of players that get bought out. Wind, walk us through this list.
Yeah, it's a big list. A lot of big names on this list. And a lot of point guards, too.
Yeah.
And, I mean, if you look at the Nuggets roster right now, they lost the guy who was their backup point guard, quote-unquote, in Bones Highland. They've got Ish Smith now, who we're going to see in the rotation again tonight. Would they look to add another ball handler? I think that make the most sense out of any position. So, I mean, you've got guys like Russell Westbrook, John Wall, Derrick Rose, Patrick Beverly.
Yeah, Derrick Rose
special.
should really get you going.
The
Dude,
Dev
all of these
special.
guys are like my caliber of player.
Reggie Jackson,
All of them.
Corey Joseph, George Hill. There's a lot of veteran options out there.
George Hill's still playing.
That's what I said, man. I was
Apparently,
surprised by
he's
that.
played in 30-something games for Milwaukee this year somehow.
Yeah.
But any of those names intrigue you guys at point guard? Other than Dev?
Let Dev cook first.
I know where
Let
Dev stands on all
man.
these.
I mean, he's going to sell
Who do
us
you like,
on it.
Dev?
Let's hear it.
Who would you want?
I'll take Russ. I'll take Reggie Jackson.
Wow,
I
you
would
take
take-
Russell Westbrook on this team.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Like, first off,
I want
Jokic can make
Iguodala.
anyone look good.
He's not going to be playing with him.
Also, Russell, what?
I mean, he wouldn't be playing
He's
with
going to
him.
be playing with Christian
How much does-
Brown.
so
he would
Thomas
attack. He would attack a
Bryant.
second unit. Like
Russell Westbrook might
him
have some
off the
pretty good
bench.
chemistry
He would
with
also-
Thomas Bryant.
He
just
would
saying.
also understand that he's coming off of the bench. Like I think that his problem has been being behind guys or around guys that are not better than him. Patrick Beverly is not better
Right.
than him on that fit. He would know he's not better than Jamal Murray, but he's going to still be able to bring to bring it. He's also going to attack. He's already been on contending teams throughout his career. He's also an unselfish player that knows how to run an offense, and that's what Denver desperately needs. He's also explosive. He could give you those options when Jamal is not playing. And also you'll feel happy knowing that if Jamal Murray sits like he is right now, you have a Hall of Fame worthy point guard, backup point guard
Are
behind
you
him.
Russell Westbrook's agent or something?
I'm just
Are you
saying.
getting
I'm
like
just-
checks on the side?
I'm
This
just
is
saying.
some sell
Dev,
job.
Dev, what about we just heard that the chemistry is as high as it could be? Are you not worried about lobbing the old Russ grenade in there?
I'm not. I don't think that we've had a player like Westbrook. Also, he's been in situations like the Lakers that was never going to work out for him. It just is a bad spot to be in. We didn't hear these same type of things, with Houston, which I think he really played well. He was good with the Wizards, and it was fun. He was having fun. So I do think that I think it would be good.
The Russ situation in LA is funny, man, because he grew up in LA. He's a Lakers fan. Can you imagine having a Hall of Fame career and being like, you know what, I'm going to ride off into the sunset with my favorite team, hometown, and they hate you? Like every Lakers fan on earth hates Russell Westbrook. That'd be tough, man.
Yeah, that's right.
I think that was a big part of it, man. I think he really thought it was going to be a wonderful final chapter.
It would be cool. Yeah.
And it was not.
So, all right, did he talk you in? Did he get you Reggie Jackson or Derrick Rose?
Reggie Jackson I could be talked into.
Reggie Jackson seems like the clear best name on that list.
Derrick Rose I could be talked into, but I'm not like
he's been pretty bad.
Not
this
like
year.
clamoring, Wind almost talked me into Patrick Beverly earlier.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of into Beverly.
Oh my God, this
I'm
is painful.
kind
I
of
do
into
want to
it.
say the obligatory preface to any buyout discussion. It's like a 0.5% chance it moves the needle in any way.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe
Always
even
been
lower.
the case.
Yeah.
Even when it was LaMarcus Aldridge and Blake Griffin, that's always been the case. But of those options, I think Reggie Jackson I could be talked into.
What about Will Barton?
Yeah, I was gonna get to some of these other names.
All right.
Will
I
Barton.
I can't.
The chat just immediately
I
goes
mean, Will Barton.
mild.
That's not happening. Don't worry, everybody. Alec Burks, Colorado's own. Terrence Ross, Rudy Gay, Danny Green, Kevin Love, Serge Ibaka, Dwayne Dedman.
Kevin Love, kind of
Kevin
interesting. He's
Love.
been rumored to Denver for decades.
I know.
For decades.
I'm surprised nobody's rumored that
Hey.
so far, but
Why not now?
I can't see a big man coming here.
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
Boban, maybe. Frank Kaminsky, maybe.
It's not going to be a
Can you imagine
big.
the Nuggets
It's
putting-
going to be a guard.
Can you imagine the Nuggets getting 4 centers? Just being like, why not? We're going to have a bunch of them.
Citizen in the chat brings up Gary Harris, who
Is he
they
buyout
could
candidate?
be in contact with today in Orlando. I would think he'd be a buyout candidate if he wanted to be. That's the thing. Like, if Gary just wants to stay in Orlando for the rest of the season, which maybe he does.
He doesn't.
He doesn't?
He
talked to him?
doesn't. Maybe
No.
he does.
No, he doesn't. He just yelled adductor as loud as he can. He's ready
He
to.
just yelled a doctor.
Not a report.
Would you take a Gary Harris? I mean, we talked about Monte. Would you take a Gary Harris? Where would he even fit into the equation? Just as like a backup?
You use him like you used Shaq Harrison 2 years ago.
Oh, man. That hurt to hear.
What's Shaq
That
up to?
that didn't feel good for me.
Am
to,
I
like,
wrong
say.
though?
No.
Like he'd be your 10th man if Damian Lillard was killing you in the first half. You'd switch him onto him to start the third quarter.
You know what? Gary Harris backup. I'm in. I'm fine. I'm with it. I'm going to go with it. I could go for Gary. There's a weird scenario where you end up playing regular season minutes with like Bruce Brown, Gary Harris, and Christian Brown all in the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Zeke Naji and Thomas Bryant. That's weird. We can get weird. All right, let's open up the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Let's
Finally.
make some money. Let's make some money today on this game. How do we do it? Dev, what do you got for us?
Sorry, I'm pulling it up.
Oh, my God.
So Denver comes into this game as 5-point favorites. Take it.
Yes.
Take it.
Really?
They're going to win by 5, more than 5.
I hope.
Really, the Magic last game, that was just really, that was their best game. And that's why it came off of a buzzer beater. Also, Denver is not that same team anymore. They're number 1 now. Like, that comes with responsibility, and these are responsible guys. Also, I feel like they're in like a prove it point. They cut a player. They have to like rally behind that decision. I think that you have to play a lot harder with that.
If one Nuggets player has like a career night tonight,
Oh,
are we
man.
going to read way too much into their play after a certain player was traded?
Hell yeah, let's do it.
I'm
Every
ready.
single time.
I'm ready.
Okay. Just wanted to ask.
Let's get straight over to what I like for Denver. On the players, I just feel like you always have to throw in Michael Porter Jr. with the 3-pointers. He's playing really well.
I love
knocking
this
him
bet
down
right now.
It's 2.5 right now.
Oh man.
Minus 155.
So you just put it in the same game parlay.
Yeah.
Is what
No
you're doing.
Jamal.
in that.
They've been
don't-
having some alternate 3-point lines lately. Do they have one for Michael Porter? So if you want to take 4+, it's minus 105. Do we like 4+?
Dude, he had 19 last game. 19 in the first quarter. He could knock this down in the first quarter, and he's shooting the ball
You know what?
extremely well.
No
let's
Jamal
do,
tonight?
Let's do at least 3. Like, you could just put
Well,
it in
all
as
you can
3.
do is 2 or 4 or
for
5.
the same game parlays.
Well, for the same game parlay, you can.
Yeah, so throw it in with a 3+. I
call,
just like it.
All right, Dev, you got me.
Denver is playing against the Orlando Magic. Guess who used to play for the Orlando Magic?
Aaron Gordon.
Aaron Gordon. You have to get him in there. You have to get the same. I mean, the combo in there. Points, rebounds, and assists. It's back in Orlando. But this is like the second time that he's been back there. Like, this is a place that he grew up, and you want to prove like, I'm doing well. I'm still doing fine without you. You know how it is when you see an ex. You just have to do it.
Yeah.
As far as
Just have to do
it. As far as the lock of the game that I truly love. It's the easiest one. We're going right back to the well. It's got to be the triple-double. Lock it in.
It's just so easy. What are our odds on it? It's got to be negative right now.
It should be. It's his average.
Yeah, it's 105. But also, what I really
It's
love
105?
about
Oh my
what
God.
I really love about it is it's just the assist that you have to worry about. Like, he's going to be a beast on the boards, especially against a small. They're like a tall lineup,
They're
but
really
also they're
tall.
like he's a 6'10" center that he's going against. Like, I love that. Also, their assist. He's playing without Jamal Murray. The ball pops. They're coming off of a record
cooking today.
assist.
Listen to
You
him,
just
man.
have to love it.
Cook.
So he's going to get at least 10 points.
Oh, yeah.
Triple double
that
is
part.
a lock.
I love it, man. I love
What else do we like?
Well, we got to build a single game parlay, so let's go over there and let's build our threes here. You're saying I should go with the 3 threes for Michael Porter tonight. Minus 170. I'll start there. I like it. Let's go over to assists and let's get Yoke. I'm with you. He's just been throwing so many dimes lately. Do it conservative, though, and I'll go 9.5. I think he's going to get over 9.5. So I'll add that to it.
Rebounds.
This is a tough rebound game, I think, though, a little bit. It's a tough. I'm
Yeah.
just saying, there's a lot of bigs. They play zone. It's like
Less
clunky.
Bombo, though.
I would say there's no
Go
bomb.
drink some more Iraq.
What's going on over here, man? I can't handle it. And then what do we think about? Do we want to go back to that first quarter? Do they have the first quarter ones in this?
I don't want to bet first quarter.
All right, let's just take the Nuggets win. Let's just take the Nuggets. Actually, we'll take the 4.5. We'll take the 4.5 points and make that us. Get up to plus 290. 3 Michael Porter threes. Jokic 10 assists. Nuggets to win by 5 or more. I feel like that's pretty solid value. I'm going to throw a double bet on it for my single game parlay. All right, that does it. Yoke triple double, the lock of the night from Dev. Trade deadline's over. I'm so glad.
Thank the Lord.
We're only going to
Thank
talk
you.
about actual basketball, the game, the actual game.
Nothing can hurt us now.
Nothing can hurt us now. Hit that like button. We'll see you guys afterwards.